from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open a 3-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros 8-4 against the Pirates this year, and JD, the Buccos have lost 11 straight on the road.
Yeah, the Pirates reworked their roster yet again this year, really struggling as they come to town. And the Astros will send Bud Norris to the mound tonight. It's been an interesting year for Bud Norris. They had that great start, first time out against the St. Louis Cardinals. As a matter of fact, through his first three, everything looking awfully good for Bud. 3-0 with an ERA of 3. Next three, not so good. 0-3 ERA up over 13. But a bounce-back start last time against Philadelphia. He was the winner, worked 6 innings, allowed just 2 runs, didn't walk anybody. Kind of what you expect from a rookie. A little bit inconsistent, but obviously outstanding stuff for Bud Norris.
Takes the mound against the young Buccos in just a moment. Meanwhile, America pauses to reflect 9/11 with special ceremonies here tonight. We'll get to baseball on the first pitch in just a moment. Cloudy night outside, and the special ceremonies, which hopefully you were able to see on Astros Live, take you up to game time with the policemen, firemen, honored, and all the great things our troops have done over the years, all remembered before this game tonight. Our thoughts are with Gene Duffy, our colleague in the hospital tonight, and our latest update is that he has not regained consciousness, but the audio from the ball game is right next to him and his hospital bed. So we hope that Gene will regain consciousness tonight. Meanwhile, it's the opener of a 3-game series here. The Astros 5-2 on this homestand, and they are 15.5 out of first place right now. They were drawing closer to the Cubs. They began the day 4 behind Chicago. The Cubs have won this afternoon. They won 6-4 at home over Cincinnati. Bud Norris is one of those players to watch here in the month of September, now making his 8th Major League start tonight, JD.
Yeah, you know, a work in progress, but obviously had a very nice start, especially his first start against St. Louis, and was 3-0 through his first 3 starts, and I imagine expectations got pretty high. A lot of fans like, hey, this guy is going to be the ace of the staff before the end of the year. Obviously, it doesn't happen that quickly for a young pitcher. He hit a bump in the road, struggled for 3 starts, but last time out threw the ball quite well, and I think that's just the nature of the beast with a young pitcher, inconsistencies, but he has top of the rotation stuff. It's just a matter of fine-tuning some things and going through the process.
Here's the lineup he'll be facing tonight for Pittsburgh manager John Russell. Andrew McCutchen leads it off in center field. It's Delwyn Young at second base. Garrett Jones might be Rookie of the Year this year. He leads the team in batting average. He's at first base. With Lastings, Millage in left field. Ryan Dohm at the catcher. Brandon Moss in right field. Andy LaRoche at third base. Ronnie Cedeno at shortstop. Charlie Morton is the pitcher.
Well, after a year in which Bud Norris was the pitcher of the year in the Pacific Coast League at Round Rock, he has worked 8 times for the Astros, 7 times as a starter. He's 4-3 with an ERA of 6.05, 38 2/3 innings. He's walked 19, struck out 36. So that speaks to the stuff. They almost a strikeout per inning. Walks is something he's got to work on. Last time out, though, he didn't walk anybody. And defensively, the Astros tonight set up this way. Lee Bourne and Pence cover left, center, and right. Infield has Chris Johnson back in there at third base. Tejada's the shortstop. Natsui, Lance Berkman hold down the right side of the infield. J.R. Tolles gets the start behind the plate.
At Minute Maid Park, the Astros 5-2 on this homestand. They've won 10 of their last 14 here at home. They are 40-32 in their home ballpark. 3 more games to go on this homestand before heading for Cincinnati and Milwaukee. And after that, 1 homestand to go for Cecil Cooper and his club. Wearing the bright red caps today, the patriotic red, white, and blue Astros star. And of course, the patriotic caps were given out to a lot of the fans tonight. Bud Norris has been very effective against lefty hitters, JD.
Yeah, and I guess it's just the two-seam fastball that runs away from lefties, probably the best weapon for him against lefties. Righties have been a bit of a problem for him. That's somewhat surprising for a right-handed power pitcher, but he has not been able to solve righties so far. 7 of the 8 home runs he surrendered and a .353 batting average.
Swing and a miss to the exciting rookie Andrew McCutchen. 278, 11 homers, 47 runs batted in. He is electric. Tremendous speed merchant. He's been on base in 21 of his last 22 games. 1 ball, 1 strike, has 6 triples, and when he hits a triple, he is so much fun to watch. Count is 0-2 on McCutchen with Young on deck.
Now this is going to be a fun series to watch with McCutchen and Bourne, the center fielders. If you're a fan of speed, those 2 guys bring it to the table.
McCutchen with 47 runs batted in out of the leadoff spot, ranking second to Jimmy Rollins among RBI men who bat first. And that's some heat from Bud Norris for a strikeout to open the game. 96.
Obviously, that fastball, a big part of it for Bud Norris, but I'm guessing the scouting report on McCutchen was pound with the heater and go upstairs, because it was pretty consistent. He worked above the hands with that plus fastball. McCutchen swing there a little long.
Delwyn Young, the product of the Dodger farm system, was traded to the Pirates this April. And the switch hitter takes strike 1. He checks in at 271 with 6 homers, 38 runs batted in, converted from outfield to second base. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Young's bat has kept him in the lineup for the Buccos. But right now he has been slumping. 0 for his last 20. That's the shortstop. Tejada to his left. It's Young. 2 outs.
And went back-to-back changeups there, and one of the things that Bud is trying to do, or Dewey Robinson anyway, is trying to get Bud to do, is to soften that changeup a little bit. He throws it awfully hard. That one was clocked at 88 miles an hour. The fact that he gets good movement on it, it can be an effective pitch. But I think the thinking is if he can learn to choke that back or do something with his delivery to take 3 or 4 more miles per hour off of that pitch, it'll be a much more effective off-speed pitch for him.
28-year-old rookie Garrett Jones, a .301 hitter, has 19 bombs. He's driven in 38. Strike one to Jones, settling into the number 3 spot in the lineup and providing some good punch. He has 4 homers and 8 runs batted in his last 11 games.
That's crisp. That is 97 on the outside corner, just above the knees. Garrett Jones is a remarkable story. 28-year-old rookie. You just don't break in at 28 and do what he's doing. If you break in at 28, you're a journeyman. You do some things okay, but others not so. I mean, there's a reason why you've been in the minor leagues all this time. This guy's been unbelievable. He's got a .607 slugging average. With 19 home runs, he's only had 239 at bats. Give him a full season's worth of ABs, and he's over 40 home runs, playing in that big ballpark in Pittsburgh.
That's close. It's 2-2 to Jones. He came up briefly with Minnesota in '07, but is still classified as a rookie. He had 77 at bats that year. Last year, he was at AAA Rochester all season long, hitting 23 homers, driving in 92 runs. Berkman lunging for it. It's a fair ball up the right field line into foul territory. Now it kicks back towards center for Hunter Pence, and Jones is in with a 2-out double. 15th double of the year for Jones. Right up the first base line.
And Bud thought he had him punched down on the previous pitch, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was over the plate, but apparently a little low. He comes back with the changeup, and again, he throws it pretty hard, 88 miles an hour, and Jones able to yank it down the first baseline for a 2-out double.
Now the former New York Met, Washington National, Lasting's Millage. Millage has found a home in Pittsburgh in left field after spending quite a bit of time at AAA at age 24. And the slider works for strike one on Millage, a .283 hitter with the Buccos with 2 homers, 15 runs batted in. He had surgery on his broken right ring finger earlier this season. Missed a couple of months with that. He's from Bradenton, Florida, a first-round pick of the Mets in '03, the 12th player drafted. In the air to right center field, Pence is calling for the 3rd out. It's no runs, 1 hit. Good first for Bud Norris. Scoreless start. Starting lineup. Michael Bourne leads it off at center field. He's followed by Kazuo Matsui at second base. Lance Berkman's the first baseman. The cleanup man is left fielder Carlos Lee. Miguel Tejadas at shortstop with Hunter Pence in right field. Chris Johnson gets his second straight start at third base. J.R. Tolles gets the call at catcher, and it's Bud Norris as his battery mate.
Charlie Morton picked up from the Atlanta Braves when the Pirates sent Nate McClough to Atlanta. He's made 14 starts for the Pirates this year, 3-7, 5.43 ERA. He's been miserable on the road, 1-4 with an ERA just under 8 on the road. Defensively, help comes from Millage, McCutcheon, and Moss. The killer M's in the outfield. LaRoche, Cedeno, Young, and Jones on the infield. Ryan Domet does the catching tonight. Yes, that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not the last time you saw them look like that, but as we sit here today, that's the way it looks.
Michael Bourne offers at it and misses the bunt try. There's strike one for Morton. To a .295 hitting Bourne with 3 homers, 34 runs batted in. Michael continues to lead the league in steals and tied for the league lead in triples.
Ooh.
Pretty good movement on the changeup.
Dandy changeup there. Charlie's got the 4 basic pitches: fastball, curve, slider, and a change.
He's from Flemington, New Jersey.
There's a great shot of that ball coming out of his hands, the way his hand was pronating, rolling off that pinky finger and fading down and away from Michael. There's that breakdown I was talking about in Pittsburgh, and fine. But on the road, it's been ugly.
And a big curveball gets strike 3 for him to open this game impressively with the off-speed stuff on Michael Bourne.
He's showing a good change. Now a good hook. Catches the inside corner.
Kazuo Matsui next. He has 8 hits and 28 at-bats on this homestand. 4 runs batted in. Morton, 25 years old, a 3rd-round pick in '02 by Atlanta. Matsui chops one to the left side. Pass for Roche. Barehanded, and what a play by Cedeno on the barehand effort. Ronnie Cedeno.
Yeah. Hey, he looked like Jack Wilson out there. Wilson wore the Pirate uniform for so long, was one of the better defenders in all of baseball, but this play right here is a spectacular one by Ronnie Cedeno, who was once considered the quote-unquote shortstop of the future for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
He's the shortstop of the present for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Omar Vizquel-like, not using the glove. Now Lance Berkman, 273, 19 homers, 69 runs batted in. Big night last night for Lance. He's hit 280 on the homestand. He broke that lengthy home run drought after 32 games. And he hit a monster shot last night, although it had to be reviewed. He really hit it hard. There's ball 1. That was the 2nd longest home run drought of his career. It's 2 balls, no strikes. He was sticking his tongue out, he said. We had a shot of that last night at Adam LaRoche, who was yelling over to him that it was going to be a double. And his girls enjoyed watching that on TV last night. It's 3-0. 85 walks for Lance. And now the brother of Adam LaRoche, Andy, is in town on back-to-back LaRoche series. Foul ball makes it 3-1 for Charlie Morton.
Well, if Lance squirts one down that 3rd baseline, he'll be able to stick his tongue out at Andy. He did it at him last night.
These are different Pirates. You're right. And the last time the Astros played them, several trades, bringing in a lot more new faces, and that's a strike to make it 3-2.
Hard to keep track.
It is.
All the moves they've made, not just this year, but the last couple of seasons. Constantly retooling, trying to get younger and cheaper. They'll put some interesting pieces in place. See how it plays out.
High. Here's another one from Berkman toward the Astros bullpen. That's in the bullpen. And now it's going to be a home run barrage, isn't it, after the long drought. The drought has been broken, and he's homered twice in as many games. That's number 20. 70 runs batted in for Berkman.
The drought is over. Let the deluge begin. Bourne's allowed 7 home runs now this year. All 7 have come to left-handed hitters. This is a high splitter or changeup. Never a good idea.
Carlos Lee looks at ball 1. 306 for Carlos. 23 homers. 89 runs batted in. Another 20 home run season for Lance Berkman. He's made a career out of putting together those years. It's 2 balls and no strikes. He passed Ruben Sierra on the all-time list for homers by switch hitters last night into 6th place. That's number 308 of his career there. And Lance has hit 20 or more homers every year in this decade, joining Carlos Lee.
And A-Rod, they're the only 3 guys to have done it.
It's a nice decade. 3 balls and a strike. Hit 21 in 2000. And then 34, 42, 25, 30, 24, 45, 34, 29. And now 20 again this year. Broken bat roller. LaRoche coming in. And Berkman makes it 1-0 Houston as he drills it to the Astros bullpen.
There is a crisis for affordable, safe housing in Houston, and that's going to continue. And that's the public we serve. So we're looking forward to transforming lives, really making a difference in people's lives and their families, especially the children.
So if folks can't physically get out there and hammer nails and help you guys build, what can they do to help?
Well, there's sponsorship and there's donations. They can come to our website, which is www.houstonhabitat.org, or they can sponsor by calling the Houston Habitat at 713-671-9993, and you can call my extension 214. That's public.
Okay, there you go. And the family that moved into the home we worked on.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing great. They just closed on their home and they're moving in now. Great. She is just having a blast, and it's incredible to see the look on her face when she realizes the American dream. And that's what we do, is provide the American dream.
You do great work, Stephen Sy. Thanks for being with us.
Okay.
Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. We enjoyed meeting with him and getting a little look at that earlier this season. There is Ryan Doumit has fly to center. Brandon Moss, 245, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in, taking strike 1. And Hunter Pence was out there that day. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moss, plenty of power. Pirates are hoping he can unleash it now as he's in the lineup and getting a chance tonight. And he smacks one to left center field. Michael Bourne cruising over. 2 outs. It's Andy LaRoche coming up next. Andy, 246, 8 homers, 50 runs batted in. Bud Norris's grandfather, Ken, now departed, went to spring training with the Yankees, but then he spent 3 years in the Navy in World War II. And he said he was 9 when his grandfather died.
Pretty good boxer, too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. And he said he remembers his grandfather at the dinner table. Bud had a tendency to want to be in a hurry when he was eating. Cut that up into smaller bites, Bud. His memories of his grandfather, Ken. He traces his initials in the mound. Fly ball up the right field line. Hunter Pence over into the corner, now drifting back a little deeper, reaching up, and he snagged it. Hunter Pence with a catch at the rail. And Bud Norris liked that one very much for out number 3. Beautiful timing by Hunter Pence, going high, 1-0 Astros.
The Pirates' first 10,000 fans will score a Jose Valverde bobblehead courtesy of Citgo. One lucky fan will get the golden bobble, and whoever gets that will get 4 dugout box tickets, a meet and greet with Jose, and a jersey. Astros.com or 1-877-9-ASTROS for tickets.
Miguel Tejada looks at ball 1. Starting the night at 300, he has 10 homers, 72 runs batted in, and 40 doubles for Miggy. 321 on this homestand.
They're happy to be hitting with nobody on base after last night. Grounded into 3 double plays in last night's game.
And that gives him the club record and 27 total this year. Hunter Pence, Chris Johnson to follow. It's 3 balls, no strikes to Miggy, who's tied for second in the league in hits with 166. And he takes a leadoff walk on 4 pitches, only his 18th walk of the year.
He's usually up there hacking, but Morton having a hard time finding the strike zone. Miggy leading off the inning, a good patient approach. Astros to pad their 1-0 lead.
Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, Brian Moeller tells us why he loves pitching. Stay tuned for that. Charlie Morton has not been loving pitching on the road. In his last 5 road starts, he's got an ERA of 11.76. He got 27 earned runs. Now Ryan Doman will go out after ball one to Hunter Pence. 5 straight balls in the inning. Pence with 23 homers, 68 runs batted in, has a .290 batting average. Pirates have the second largest home road winning percentage difference in 2009. Detroit actually has the biggest. Tigers are playing .672 percentage baseball at home, .417 on the road. Pirates 2 games above .500 at home at .514. On the road, 18 and 50 for a .265 winning percentage. They have lost 11 straight on the road.
And it's not like their players have had a chance to settle in Pittsburgh. They're all new guys.
Yeah.
18 wins. That's the lowest total in baseball for road wins. The Nationals are 19 and 49 on the road. It's pretty severe for baseball.
Yes,
you think about home field advantage or home, you think about home court advantage in the NBA. Baseball is usually not that significant.
Now it's 3-0. 7 straight balls for Morton. Morton lost here to Wandy Rodriguez July 8th, 5-0, giving up 10 hits, 5 runs in 4 innings. Charlie was 4-8 with the Braves last year. He throws strike one, and it's 3-1 to Hunter Pence with Chris Johnson on deck.
That fastball clocked at 809 miles an hour on the scoreboard down the right field line.
The Pirates have lost 21 straight games at Miller Park.
Why couldn't we play the Pirates there last year instead of the Cubs?
Fouled away. The longest streak by one major league team against another was the St. Louis Browns and the Baltimore Orioles. Browns dropped, Browns and Orioles franchise dropped 27 in a row to the Indians in Cleveland. And John Russell will have to live with that all winter. The 21 straight losses at Milwaukee as he gets ready for his next trip there next year. 3-2 to Hunter. They're going. Double play ball if they hurry. They do, and that's 2 outs. Cedeno to Young to Jones.
Yeah, I think Hunter got a little bit of a late break out of the box, and Tejada running with the pitch. I think his intention was just try to get to second base. You see, he slows down there and gets no piece of the middle infielder. I mean, when you're running on the pitch like that, you figure you're going to get a shot at upending a middle infielder and prevent the double play, but not even close.
That's number 134 for the Astros, grounding into double plays. Chris Johnson got his first major league hit last night, a single to right field in his first career start. That's strike one. He's 1 for 6 now as a major leaguer.
So next spring training, the Astros will be hitting for hours on end trying to hit the ball in the air. Everybody with an uppercut swing now. Lift and swing and lift.
That sounded pretty good. You can do your own DVD.
Somebody would buy it.
We could put you on the beach in Hawaii, and that would go over very well.
You know that guy, Gilad, he's still going.
He's still going strong, isn't he? About 19-inch biceps.
I saw him when they were on the road trip on the hotel had Fit TV, and I'm flipping around, and there's Gilad.
Yeah, I saw him. He doesn't get any older, does he?
Yes.
Preserved perfectly on DVD. 2-1. And that had some movement down and in toward Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Morton.
And the assortment of pitches we've seen from Charlie Morton are very good. He's shown enough life on the fastball, good movement. We've seen a couple of dandy changeups and a couple of good curveballs, but some inconsistency, hanging a few.
And the curve goes by for ball 3 to Johnson. Johnson finished up strong at Round Rock. J.R. Tolles is on deck.
Chris got his first major league hit last night. Little flare to right field.
He takes strike 3. And in the second inning, it's no runs, no hits, nobody left. 1-0 Astros.
The Astros take on the Pirates in the last game of this weekend series on Sunday at 1:05. To continue the 10th season celebration, the first 10,000 fans will receive a bronze replica Minute Maid Park, courtesy of the Methodist Hospital System. Plus, all kids 15 and under can score $1 drumsticks presented by Dryers. That's trouble. And don't forget, the Astros and Minute Maid have extended kids free tickets for the rest of the season. For more information, go to astros.com. Sounds to me like I'm going to have to recruit some kids to buy me some drumsticks, Brownie.
Yeah, you are. Strike one to Ronnie Cedeno. And Bud Norris hits the outside edge for an 0-2 start on Cedeno. A .284 hitter with 5 homers, 18 runs batted in. He's from Venezuela, 26 years old. And reaches for it, comes up without anything, and J.R. Tolles goes to Lance Berkman. Strikeout number 2, Bud Norris. And Lance gave that target to the outside of the baseline.
Cedeno waves at the breaking pitch. JR somewhat casually pursues it. No need to panic.
Charlie Morton is the batter. He's 4 for 21. Well, our good friend Steve Blass had 2 holes in 1 today.
Come on.
2 of them. Wow. In a charity tournament.
He's not here, is he? He doesn't travel anymore.
No, he's not here.
Steve-O, that is impressive. That is unbelievable, actually.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm not sure I'm buying that, Brownie. Who gave you that information?
We were hearing it from several different sources.
Wow. You're not divulging just in case they're lying.
Right. We want to protect the unnamed. That's pretty impressive stuff. That's strikeout number 3 for Bud Norris.
So he got one on the clown hole and then on the windmill hole. Third punch out, 2 in a row. Wow, that's incredible.
That's something else. Now McCutchen, he led off the game with a strikeout. He had his first hole-in-one about 6 years ago in spring training. That was quite a day.
I hope he went out and bought a lotto ticket afterwards.
Well, he won.
He won a car?
He won a computer for the second one. I think a $500 gift certificate with the first one. No balls, 2 strikes. Bud Norris, quite a golfer himself. He grew up playing golf in Northern California with his father. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bud is thinking about staying in Houston over the winter and doing conditioning work with Dr. Gene Coleman. And a miss on a slider, and he strikes out McCutchen, strikes out the side. It's 1-0 Astros. Geico, by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, and by Whataburger. Patriotic night here for these fans, and they've seen Lance Berkman hit a home run in the first inning after the special ceremonies before the game. Now it's the bottom of the third inning. J.R. Tolles to lead it off for Houston. Bud Norris is on deck. Tolles 2 for 14 for a 143 batting average. He's showing bunt. He often does try to bunt. There's ball one. He runs well.
Morton came out in the second inning, couldn't find the strike zone, locked the hot on 4 pitches. Immediately misses high here for J.R. Tolles.
Fly ball hit to right center field. Backing on it, Brandon Moss, and on the warning track. It's out number 1. We are at a huge September in 2007. Retired there in his second start on this homestand. He started the game against the Phillies. Now Bud Norris. Bud has 2 hits and 10 at bats. Bud shut out the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis 2-0 for 7 innings to get his first major league win. Back on August 2nd, he had a hit in that game as well, and a sacrifice bunt. There's strike one. He also got a hit when he beat Florida on the road. So in 2 of his 3 victories, in 2 of his 4 victories, he has base hits.
Good hat. Uh-oh.
Bowman is down.
So this is how you want to make a living.
Oh boy.
He was on the DL from the 21st of April through July 9th with a fracture of a scaphoid bone in his right wrist. Couldn't quite tell where that one got him.
It looked like around the left knee.
Yep.
Shin guard helps, but it doesn't completely block out all the force of a blow, of course. Probing that area around the left knee. About this time of the year, catchers are very well beaten up. Tonight's Geico quote comes from former umpire John McSherry, who offered this advice: don't park in the space marked reserved for umpires. He was a very engaging guy. You might remember that he had a heart attack on opening day in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Big John, he carried obviously way too much weight. But was really well respected and liked by the players back in the day.
John Russell, a former catcher himself, caught a no-hitter pitched by Nolan Ryan. He watches Doman. This November, trained to be an umpire at the 2009 MLB umpire camp at baseball's Youth Academy in Compton, California. Classes and on-field instruction are conducted by Major League supervisors and former big league umps. For more information, go to www.mlbuc.com. That's Jim Joyce. No balls, 2 strikes to Bud Norris. Michael Bourne on deck. And he swings and misses. The ball gets away from Doman for a strikeout. Bud didn't know that. And it's strikeout number 3 for Morton.
I thought maybe he'd gotten a piece of that, but apparently not. Just gives you an idea how much movement Morton's getting on that pitch when he throws it down and into a righty.
He really is.
It looked like a foul tip. Doman couldn't catch it. Trying to go to the other side of the plate.
Michael Bourne looks at the changeup for ball 1. He saw off-speed stuff his first time up and was punched out looking. takes that one, and it's a 2-0 count. Michael's hitting .336 in his last 28 games since August 11th, with a .402 on base average for the last month. He has the 8th best stolen base year in Astros history, and has a very real shot at scoring 100 runs. He needs 12 more to do that. 2-1. This is game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. A lot happening around this ballpark this weekend. There's 3-1 now, the count. Brian Moeller and Ross Ollendorf pitch tomorrow night at 6:05. Sunday at 1:05, it's Felipe Paulino and Paul Maholm. This is the 6th 3-ball count for Morton. Hit up the middle into center field for Michael Bourne. Hit number 2 for the Astros. As Will Matsui follows.
Good at bat here by Michael. Getting into a favorable count, then got a fastball out over the middle. Turn that into a double with a stolen base here.
Matsui hit that tapper to shortstop. Bare-handing it. Ronnie Cedeno threw him out. Bourne has measured a pretty decent sized lead. That's strike 1.
Chael takes a look at the stopwatch. He's timing Charlie Morton's delivery to home plate. They've already got an advanced scouting report on that, I'm sure. Doman has thrown out 26% attempted base stealers this year.
Michael leads the National League in steals, triples, infield hits, and bunt hits. He's also the hardest player to double up in the league. 1 double play ball and 522 at bats. Joe Cruz helping him with the pitcher's release time. This one will make it easy for him to get to second base on that pitch in the dirt. Matsui skipping rope on ball 1. On the wild pitch, it's Bourne moving over.
Morton tries to hasten his delivery. It's ruled a wild pitch, but Doman's got to catch that ball.
Yeah. At least be able to keep it close.
I think that should be a pass ball.
Lance Berkman's on deck. Changeup makes it 2 balls, 1 strike. Pirates certainly welcome a well-pitched game, as any team would at any point, but they're in rather dire straits for one. Their starters at 38-60 with a 4.71 ERA.
It's interesting, the Pirates there for a number of years, talk around Pittsburgh was, well, we've got some decent veteran players, and if these young pitchers all come and develop like we think they're going to, we've got a chance to be good. Now that is kind of flipped now. Some of these pitchers that they were counting on haven't panned out, and can't really call them youngsters anymore. They've been around the league for 3 or 4 years, but now they have this core of young players that they're leaning on. It's hard to call Jones young. He's 28, but he's a rookie, and he's having a real nice year. McCutcheon, the kid in center, can really play. So for the most part, their position players are young, and their pitchers do have some seasoning now.
Two and 2. Ross Ollendorf, who pitches tomorrow night, the native Texan, is 11-9 with a 3.97 ERA. Good numbers for Ollendorf. Zach Duke is 10-14 with a 4.02. While Maholm 7-8 with a 4.72. Line to right field. Going around third, coming home with run number 89 of the year, and it's 2-0. Matsui getting RBI number 37. 2-strike, 2-out hit.
The Astros have been playing a lot of low-run games last night, a high-scoring affair, 9-7, the final here. The Astros on the short end of it, but they had a nice night offensively, putting 7 runs on the board, and off to a pretty good start here tonight off Charlie Morton.
Lance Berkman ripped a home run to the Astros bullpen on a 3-2 changeup in the first. The throw goes over on Matsui, who stole 2 bases last night. He's 16 for 19 this year. Lance has 3 runs batted in last night, with the most he had driven in since July 9th against Washington. Matsui with a big jump. He steals it. 17 for 20 now.
See how aggressive Charlie Morton's going to be after Puma took him deep last time, now that he's got a base open.
Pitch to Berkman was strike 1. Carlos Lee's on deck. Line shot left field. That's in the corner for an RBI for Berkman to make it 3-0. Scoring Matsui. RBI double. Berkman, his 29th double. That's 71 runs batted in. His 93 career runs batted in against the Pirates.
Puma appears to be back.
Yes, he does.
3 nights in a row, he's really swung the bat well. This is again, it's a changeup. Letter high and on the outside part of the plate. And Charlie Morton just made too many mistakes up in the zone with both his fastball and his off-speed stuff. Again, he's got good stuff. The inconsistency with his delivery, making too many mistakes. You're going to make a few. You always make a few mistakes in a ball game.
Kerrigan, the pitching coach, and Los Caballitos hoping to go on a merry ride down home run alley. Carlos grounded out to third on a 3-1 pitch in the first inning. His eyes usually light up when there's a man in scoring position. He gets the big curve and takes it for strike 1. This rally started with 2 outs, nobody on. Bourne with a single up the middle. Matsui RBI single after Bourne took second on a wild pitch. Matsui with a stolen base. Berkman RBI double. 293 for Carlos with men in scoring position. This one gets away from Domit. Berkman to third. The ball rolls out of play. And 1 base because it was thrown from the pitching rubber. So the wild pitch was Berkman over.
Yeah, clearly a wild pitch. The one earlier thought maybe a pass ball, but this one a 58-foot breaking ball. Pirates have not won a road game since August 18th. Check that, August 11th.
Wow. 1 month ago. Bounced up the middle. Cedeno with a smooth play. Throws out Lee. But the Astros cash in with 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man at third. It's 3-0 Houston.
And of course, it's September 11th, so the Astros honoring heroes at the ballpark tonight. Members of the military, police department, fire department, EMS personnel that work every day to keep us safe. I'm joined with one of those people right now, Staff Sergeant David Warswick of the United States Marine Corps, who is back from Afghanistan, where he earned a Purple Heart with his service there. Tell me a little bit about what happened to you there.
So over in Afghanistan, we were doing a secret mission up in the Pakistan border, Afghan border, and just hit by a roadside bomb going out there, and I was blown into the top of the vehicle and popped a lot of the vertebrae in my neck all the way down to my waist. And so I've had a bunch of stents of surgeries. I've had a couple rods and screws placed into my neck and front and back and all the way down. So we're still recovering. I got another surgery in a couple weeks, and we'll see how that goes.
Now, my understanding is that the explosion knocked you unconscious, and when you regained consciousness, you were right in the middle of a pretty serious firefight.
Yes, I did. My vehicle was actually the troop truck, and they ended up ambushing the troop truck. And when I woke up, we were getting fire. We're in a little bit of a firefight. So, as the staff sergeant in charge, I sort of felt like I should get back into it, but I didn't really know the extent of my injuries because I guess adrenaline had actually taken over. So, I just woke up and did what I knew I needed to do and what I was used to doing. So. It was my second tour, so I'd been to Iraq before that, so I guess I was pretty understanding of what needed to happen.
So he jumps into the fight despite his own injuries and helps out some of his fellow Marines who were also injured, and you guys ended up finally getting some air support and getting out of there. So you're back in the States now for a while?
Yes, sir. Actually, with the help of the Bay Area Builders Association and Babbitt Support Our Troops, they actually build Wounded Warriors a home. And this year, my wife and my family and I were selected for the house this year out in League City, and so they built a custom home for a couple, and we actually are moving in about 2 weeks, so we're looking forward to it.
That's great. Thanks for being with us. I know you've heard this all night tonight, but you don't hear it enough. Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, and thank you, everybody in Houston. Thank you.
This is what a true American hero looks like. Brownie, back to you.
Bart, you had to be blinded by his medals. Wow, what a collection on his chest. Fly ball to center field, hit by Garrett Jones. Michael Bourne coming in and calling. That one was a hanger. 2 outs for Bud Norris. And now it's Lasting's Millage. He hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Now, that was quite a story of his heroism. And nice to see him honored on the field before the game tonight. Millage had been a center fielder earlier in his career. But left field is very spacious at PNC Park. He still has lots of ground to cover. There's ball 1.
Yeah, big outfield there at PNC Park, so speed a premium in the outfield for the Pirates. And they've got it big time with McCutcheon and Millage. Left field really big, not so much in right field, a little shorter in right.
Good slider for Bud. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bud, the pitcher of the year in the Pacific Coast League at age 24.
Millage sitting dead red here, thought he was going to get a heater. And Bud counters with a good little slider down below the knees. There's your heater.
And he lined it over Tejada into left field. Millage quick enough to get the bat through on that one for hit number 2 for the Pirates. And let's check out Aflac trivia now.
Ralph Kiner.
Let's see who holds the Astros all-time record for balks in a season. Get a bonus for the exact number. Balks. Well, there were 2 people who tied for this. Boots likes Joe Niekro.
Well, I'm going to guess. It's always good to guess Joe because he pitched so many innings. He was out there for so long.
Yeah.
So he'd be a good guess. And being a knuckleballer, he'd have to work really hard at holding base runners. Mm-hmm. And being a crafty knuckleballer, he probably had a pretty good little balk move that he featured.
How about Bob Nepper? He never balked that much, did he?
I don't remember Bob balking a lot. But the other bit of rationale you could use is the error. Look at this.
Off Berkman. It almost kicked over to where the Astros could get a force play, but Tejada had to move off out of the baseline, and Millage advances on the Domit ground ball off Berkman.
So Domit has suffered a little bit now. He inflicts a little pain. Lance mixed up a little bit with this shot off of his arm. And look at this. I thought that ball was going to deflect all the way to second base for a force out. That would have been really something. Lance is trying to walk it off. Nate Lucero, now the trainer, going to come out and have a chat with the Puma.
It's ruled a hit for Domit.
Anyway, the other bit of rationale I was going to say is, the 70s and the 80s, such a great base stealing era. That's when there'd be a real emphasis on trying to stop a base stealer. So maybe that would be a time when that Bach record would have been established. Not one you really remember though.
No. Looked like it got Lance around the left knee area. So back-to-back two-out singles. Get Millage over to second base. Domit on it first for Brandon Moss. Moss hit a fly ball to center in the second inning. Balks. Boy, that's a pretty obscure statistic. Ball 1 to Moss. Moss was in the Red Sox organization. Moving over to the Pirates. Never really had everyday status with this club. An occasional starter.
He's got a good slider tonight.
Yeah.
Good tight slider.
He's keeping it down nicely. That's what he did also last start when he beat the Phillies 4-3 on Sunday, giving up 2 runs in 6 innings. Moss was an 8th round pick of Boston, traded in the Jason Bay 3-team deal. Bay has had another one of those 30 homers, 100 RBI seasons. There haven't been too many Canadian-born players to do that.
You can pencil him in, though. Very steady ball player.
Millage, and behind him the catcher Domit. John Russell's club 13th in runs scored in the National League. 2-2 as Norris faces the Pirates for the first time in his career. Pirates had a 1-5 homestand against St. Louis and Cincinnati. They were off yesterday. St. Louis and Chicago, rather. And this is the opener of a 6-game road trip for them, which will take them on to Los Angeles. They have not played the Dodgers yet. Have 6 games remaining with them. Now it's 3-2 to Moss. And automatically the runners go on this next one.
Well, this is a quote-unquote time to make a pitch. Don't get too hyped up and try to throw 140 miles an hour and make a mistake over the middle of the plate. Trust your good stuff. Just hit a good spot.
Bud Norris had a 2.63 ERA in the Pacific Coast League this year. Was 4-9. He was leading the league in strikeouts when he was brought up to the major leagues, and he started the AAA All-Star game. Runners go, and it's foul. Well, he already has 2 wins to savor over the winter, beating the Cardinals and the Phillies early in his major league career. 2 very fine lineups. Gave up homers to Jimmy Rollins and Ben Francisco in his last start. Didn't walk anybody, and he fanned 6 in 6 innings. Little roller goes foul.
Good try. Change up there. And Moss just got a piece of it.
Norris became the first Astros rookie to win his first 3 starts. Then he lost his next 3. Strike 3 makes a big pitch to get Moss looking and end the 4th inning. Strikeout number 5 for Norris. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. 3-0 Houston. You're watching Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston. Let's see who has it. Hey.
Yes.
Did you know that?
No. No, it's not one you really focus on too much. But my thinking was right. You know, the 70s and 80s when Vince Coleman and all those guys were running crazy, so you had to work hard to shut them down. When Hawk and Bob Davidson was in his heyday as an umpire. And it was really a point of emphasis for the umpires, too, to make sure pitchers came to a complete stop. Remember, because the guys were running like crazy, so the pitchers would start to quick pitch to try to nullify that, and then everybody was screaming and yelling. So I remember it was a big, point of emphasis in spring training. Hey, here's the deal: you got to make sure you stop. Can't just bounce the hands. Can't just change direction. You have to come to a definite stop. And that's probably what was going on with Nolan too, because he didn't want to employ a slide step to change his delivery. So he would probably quick pitch every now and then.
Tejada with the ball up the right field line. Gets an opposite field single leading off the home fourth inning. Jumping on that first pitch from Morton for hit number 5 for the Astros.
Maybe leading off for the second time in this game, drew a leadoff walk in the second. Was erased on a double play ball by Hunter Pence. Let's see if Coop has in mind to play a little hit and run here to stay out of a double play. Don't want to do that too often, especially when you have a powerful hitter at home plate. You don't want a guy who can hit the ball out of the ballpark sacrificing his at bat just to stay out of a double play.
Chris Johnson's on deck as Hunter Pence bats.
You want to stay out of the double play for sure, but a hitter only gets 4 at bats a night typically. You don't want to take the bat out of a guy who can hit the ball out of the yard.
Almost hit him. Ball went in tight. The Astros will head for Cincinnati after the Sunday finale of this homestand. The Reds losing today 6-4 to the Cubs. Justin Lair took the loss for Cincinnati. Johnny Gomes hit his 19th homer. Giovanni Soto hit number 10 for the Cubs. And Carlos Marmol got his 12th save.
Looks like Alfonso Soriano is going to shut it down for the year. He needs knee surgery. He's kind of leaning in that direction.
Well, it's that time of year for clubs which really are out of contention. Some players wanting to get a head start on next year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies lead the Mets 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Citizens Bank Park.
Cubs 8.5 off the pace in the wild card race.
Broken bat to third, backhanded. LaRoche fires to second. Young, low throw to first, safe. Jones caught the 1-hop throw from Young. Pence beating the wrap on an attempted double play.
They got jammed. LaRoche quickly unloading to second. Not able to beat that one. 2 long throws. Tough to get Hunter.
Chris Johnson waits for the pitcher, Morton, to tie his shoe. Johnson was told to stay ready when he came up to the big leagues. Got in that first game when Jeff Blum was hurt. Jeff still unavailable, but feeling better. He had a pinched nerve in his leg when he went in hard at second base. And had to leave that game and said he thought he'd be all right. He thought it was just one of those little collisions a base runner has, a little numbness in the leg, and it would wear off, but it didn't wear off. So then he had to come out of the game Wednesday night, and Johnson got a chance to make his major league debut. He thought it was better that way, to just come into a game quickly off the bench without having to think about a whole lot of things. Big ball 1 last night, getting his first hit out of the way. That's always a big thing for a young player. And Tommy Manzella has pinch run, but he has not played yet. Other than that, it wouldn't be too surprising to see him at shortstop in one of these 3 games this weekend. Cecil Cooper will pick his opponents for the youngsters, Johnson and Manzella. There's Tommy. And probably will be teams which are out of the race when they start. It's 2-0 to Chris. Chris hit 12 homers last year at Corpus Christi. He's on the Texas League All-Star team with a .364 batting average. Then he had 101 at bats at Round Rock.
Isn't every team we play out of the race?
Just about.
I mean, yeah, there's not a single team with a game left.
Well, by the time we get to Philadelphia, they will have clinched.
Yeah, there's no. That really should have a bearing. Peter Moylan with a little slider, and Chris pops it into shallow right field. First major league knock. By the time he woke up this morning, that was a screaming line drive in front of the right fielder.
They got Hunter. Jones running it toward Cedeno, and now the catcher Doma gets there to tag Hunter Pence. That's alert play by Domet because Delwyn Young wasn't there. Take the throw, and so that play goes 1-3-6-2.
And you work on the rundowns in spring training, and everybody needs to get involved. Domet coming down the line as soon as he sees the pickoff to provide support. Young was playing way towards the bag, so he wasn't able to get there in time.
But the pitcher Morton, is he supposed to be over there?
I'd have to see the replay again to see where he was. You know, usually if you pick a guy off, you're supposed to follow the throw.
Takes that one.
But the pitcher's the last guy that, even though the catcher's using the big clunky catcher's mitt, the pitcher's the last guy they want handling the ball.
True.
So the catcher, anybody else involved, is going to run the pitcher off that play.
Johnson grounds to third. LaRoche throws him out. No runs a hit, nobody left after 4. 3-0 Astros. And by Jack Daniels.
Here's that pickoff rundown play again, and Charlie Morton was a little late to the party there. He should have broken to first base, so he would be an option. But again, they would have run him off anyway. They probably would rather have Domet involved. But Charlie caught spectating, and they said, "Wait a minute, there might be a play back in the other direction." Ryan Domet to the rescue.
Andy LaRoche looks at ball 1 in tight. He fouled out to Hunter Pence, who made an excellent catch on him up the right field line in the second inning.
I'm Charlie. I'm watching too. I'm saying, hey, I did my part. I picked him off. You guys get him out.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Cole Hamels is pitching the shutout for the Phillies over the Mets, 2-0, top of the 7th inning in Philadelphia. There's the changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike. Went up on the board at 86 miles per hour. What do you like about a 10-mile-per-hour differential between fastball and changeup?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how hard a guy throws and what kind of action you get on your changeup, but usually 10, 12 mile an hour split.
Yanked to left field. Carlos Lee's not moving. It sails over his head and into the Landry's Crawford boxes. Andy LaRoche hits number 9, and the Pirates are on the board, trailing 3-1.
Adam just left town. He hit a home run in that series, didn't he?
He sure did in game 1. The bullpen.
The dreaded LaRoche brothers tag team has been split up, but still inflicting damage. Good swing there. Andy LaRoche is a top prospect for the Dodgers. Traded over to the Pirates. Got off to a miserable start. Boy, when we were there back in April, he was getting booed and really struggling. And he got hot and cooled off again. Bring a little power to the table. That's his 9th home run.
Strike 1 to Cedeno. Now a ground ball up the middle. Trickles on through into center field, and Cedeno follows the homer with a single. Back-to-back hits for the 2nd straight inning for the Buccos. They have a total of 5. Gives Morton a chance to sacrifice now.
But trying to make a little kick save and came up empty. Now Lance Berkman in to have a chat with the young righty. Bud's an excitable guy, so not a bad idea for the veteran to come over and chat him up a little bit.
Morton has 1 sacrifice bunt this year. This is that one foul for strike 1. The Astros have struggled within the division, going 27-36, only 15-15 at home against the clubs in their division. Pirates are a miserable 20-44 against the clubs in the NL Central.
Well documented, the Pirates now with 17 consecutive losing seasons. That's a record in the 4 major team sports. Last time they were close to good was 1997. Finished just a few games under 500.
They were in the race for the Astros that year in September. Morton strikes out. That's number 6.
And a B for Charlie.
Your Texas Ford dealers bring you the league leaders. The longest active scoreless innings pitched streaks in the National League belong to Jose Valverde, Tim Burdack, Tyler Walker, Luke Gregerson, and Jonathan Broxton.
When Burdack doesn't get a golden bobble then.
Did we find the golden bobble?
Yeah, we did, and then it's been secured.
It is safe somewhere now. McCutcheon takes ball 1. He struck out both times. Well, Norris 1 away from his strikeout high in the big league. 7 against Milwaukee in 6 innings here, August 7th. Popped up. Berkman has it. And the runner, Cedeno, was scrambling to get back to first. Bud Norris went over to cover. 2 outs.
I didn't notice. I don't think he was going with the pitch. I'm not sure what he saw that had him running there.
Not sure. It's a really good question right now.
He just forgot how many outs there were. He thought there were 2 outs, and then something kicked in. I don't know what it was, but something kicked in and said, wait a minute, there's not 2 outs.
It might have been Perry Hill, his first base coach, yelling, "Where are you going?" Perry wants to say hello to everybody in Lantana, Texas.
Hello, everybody in Lantana, Texas. I want to say hi to Bill and Joe and Mary. I see Tammy watching. Get your romper stompers out.
They might have been able to hear Perry screaming at Cedeno in Lantana, Texas on that one. Delwyn Young is 0 for 2. That's ball 1.
And make sure you say hey to Bubba out there in Lantana.
There's got to be a Bubba in Lantana, certainly. Rays and Red Sox just underway at Fenway. Or no, they're not. They're in a delay in the first inning right now. It just had started. John Lester threw 3 pitches. They're in a delay already. James Shields is not opponent. 2 balls, no strikes.
Delwyn Young, he comes from a baseball family. His dad played in the minor leagues, never played in the big leagues, but a long-time minor leaguer. His grandfather played in the Negro leagues. Had an uncle that played some professional ball.
It's 3-0. Young had only 126 at-bats with the Dodgers last year.
Been in a pretty deep funk lately.
Last night, Brian McCann snapped an 0 for 20 against the Astros, and he had a 4-hit game. Young takes a 4-pitch walk now. Runners at first and second for Garrett Jones. That's walk number 1.
Real critical at bat confrontation for Bud Norris in this game with a couple of men aboard and a very dangerous hitter in the box. That's going to bring Dewey Robinson out to have a little chat with his young right-hander.
WelcomeBackVeterans.org is one of the many ways Major League Baseball is commemorating the National Day of Remembrance and Service this September 11th. The Welcome Back Veterans program raises awareness and support for returning veterans and their families, with special focus on mental health and employment needs. Fans can go to this site to learn more, become involved, and make donations. If they need our help, it's our turn to serve.
And a lot of great organizations doing work for the veterans out there, and I'd like to throw a plug out for one too, OperationGratefulNation.org. Do a lot of good work mentoring soldiers and getting them back on their feet and come back stateside.
Garrett Jones is the batter. 2 men on for Jones, and it's ball 1. There was a story today, one of the skyscrapers being built on the site of that disaster in New York, Ground Zero, and it's not yet completed. The building is shell on certain floors, and those floors are being used to ship supplies to the troops overseas by a volunteer organization. Very good work. And they're putting those care packages together with volunteers just lined up, assembly line type procedure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas City 1, Cleveland 1. They're in the top of the 9th at Cleveland. Foul at the left field line, out of play. 1-2 to Garrett Jones. It's Atlanta 1, St. Louis nothing. Bottom of the 5th. Jair Jurgens has the lead for the Braves.
Is that Wainwright tonight for St. Louis?
We're going to check.
I'll check.
Don't think it is. He just pitched.
Pinheiro.
High for ball 2.
Trying to go in with a fastball. It just overthrew it. First 2 fastballs were good down around the knees, and maybe that was the message delivered by Dewey Robinson. Let's go back to square one. Let's not forget who you are. You're a power pitcher with a good fastball, and just command that strike zone, keep it down around the knees. Even if you get a good part of the plate, you're probably in pretty good shape for most of these hitters.
To right center field, Hunter Pence on the ride. Gets there to track it down. And the LaRoche homer makes it 1 run for the Pirates on 2 hits. They lead 2. It's 3-1 Houston. to be enjoyed. Fans seem to be having a good time. They have their mini American flags. They watched the patriotic ceremony before the game, and now they're watching J.R. Tolles. J.R. from Crosby, Texas, leads it off in the home 5th inning. With a fly ball pretty deep to right in the 3rd. Charlie Morton has worked at a lot of off-speed stuff in this game.
JR picked on a high fastball and almost knocked it out of here, about 370 feet just in front of the Astros bullpen.
Backhanded Ronnie Cedeno. Good play.
Pretty good swing there by JR, but he's 0 for 2, and Cedeno's made 2 or 3 real nice plays tonight.
You said that when he came up with the Cubs, he was thought to be the shortstop of the future. Sometimes those players don't find that they take hold in their original organization, but later on they get another chance with a different club and it clicks.
And just a young player when he came up with the Cubs, still relatively young, just 26 years of age. And maybe just kind of asked a little too much too early from him.
Well, Norris hits the ball 1. Pirates certainly are giving a lot of players a chance. All the turnover they've had in their organization. They've traded their shortstop, Jack Wilson, to Seattle. They've traded their second baseman, Freddie Sanchez, to San Francisco, among other deals.
I was going over their roster earlier, trying to find guys that have been with the big league club here in Pittsburgh all year. I don't think I can really find like 4 or 5 players on their team.
Wow.
Andy LaRoche has been here all year. Doman has, but he's been hurt much of it. Brandon Moss, Ramon Vasquez. Ellen Young. But the position players, I think that's about it.
Strike to Norris. That evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And they've, obviously with September call-ups, they've been able to bolster their roster. They've got a lot of pitchers in their bullpen.
Morton barehands it against Norris. Bart Ennis is waiting. Bart.
Well, Bill, we want to remind fans that the Astros have extended the Price Matters Days presented by HEB. They've added more dates to cash in on a great deal in September. You can get a ticket, hot dog, chips, and a soda for just $10. That's a sweet deal. Baseball and a meal for only $10. To get those tickets, of course, you go to Astros.com. Bill?
Thank you, Bart. Fans on a Friday night waiting for this ball game, which is 3-1 Astros, to get them closer to fireworks as well as enjoying Major League Baseball tonight. Michael Bourne has a single and has scored a run. That's a good location.
The Friday nights are always fun out here. And, you know, the Astros have fallen out of the race. It's still fun to come to Bart. We've had, you know, the Phillies series, some dramatic finishes. The fans were really into it.
They were. 1-1, and it's good on these Friday nights because fireworks are such a treat for people. They're revved up for the late stages of the game. They get into a close game and really enjoy that part of the evening too. 2 balls, 1 strike. Looking at these two teams was interesting today. The Astros have won 68 and lost 72. The Pirates 54 and 84. So the Astros are 13 games ahead in the standings, but the run differential not all that huge between the two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And then looking further, the Astros 23 and 19 in 1-run games. The Pirates are 10 and 20 in 1-run games. 3 and 2. Close games have not gone the Buccos' way. Blue Jays lead the Tigers in Detroit 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning with Brian Talent on the mound. And bangs that one off his leg. Rod Barajas hit his 17th home run, and Randy Ruiz added number 7. As fans come out to the park in September, they can see a lot of things. They can see players approaching milestone numbers, or young players getting one of the few starts they've had. Fielded by Morton. Good play to take him through a 1-2-3 5th inning and keep the score at 3-1 Astros. on his love of pitching.
Well, I love the fact that when I'm on the mound facing a hitter, all his attention's on me, and my attention's on him, whether he's the best player in the game or just a good average player. I know that their attention's focused on me.
It's a one-on-one game. That's why so many people are in love with this sport. That pitcher-batter confrontation that happens so many times a night.
I like pitching because you get 4 days off between turns.
That stinks, Millage.
You can hang out in the clubhouse with Buck and Carl and Dennis, shoot the breeze, drink coffee. It's really nice work.
1 ball and 1 strike. The key is to be good enough so you can hang out for a lot of years with those guys.
Yeah, a significant amount of pressure on that 5th day. The other 4.
Yeah.
About as good as it gets.
1 and 2 to Lastings Millage. He was the youngest of 3 children. His mother knew he would be her last, thereby the name. His mother inspected peanut jars to make sure they're not cracked. His father was a Florida State trooper for 25 years.
He's not thinking about going Ocho Cinco, is he? 85?
I don't know about that.
Good running fastball, and he whacks it right off the shin. Millage was one of the top prospects for the Mets. Things didn't work out there. Moved on to the Nationals. Now a Pirate. Very talented guy. If he can smooth out his game, he would be a dynamic offensive force.
He chases one upstairs. Bud Norris gets strikeout number 7 to tie his major league high.
That's what he's talking about, with smoothing out his game, a little better plate discipline, willingness to chase some bad balls there. He's got a pretty quick bat, but nobody's going to hit that one. Chin high heater.
7 Ks for the 2nd time in his brief major league career for Bud. Ryan Domit is 1 for 2. Strike 1 to Domit, a 2nd round pick of the Buccos in '99 from Moses Lake, Washington. Drove in 69 last year. It's 1-1. Domit's 28 years old.
Kind of a lost season for him this year. So much time on the deal. I thought he'd really have a breakout year offensively.
Berkman can't get it on through into right field. Domit hit one off Berkman's leg last time up. Now this one he gets by Lance for a 2 for 3 night so far.
Shades of Jose Lima.
Yeah. Hope he doesn't forget it's up there. Brandon Moss 0 for 2, a fly ball to center, a strikeout. Double play ball here. Matsui, Tejada, and Berkman. And the Astros turn number 143 of the year, getting Bud Norris through the 6th inning with a 3-1 lead.
about how their bat stays in the strike zone and the path to the ball. I mean, there's some guys that are high average hitters. There's some guys that are uppercut hitters that hit for home runs, but there's that kind of the blended hitter, and that's what Berkman is. Where, you know, he stays through the strike zone so well, but he's strong and powerful. So he hits for high average, also hits for power.
Matsui has a 1-1 pitch coming. Speed pitch fouled away with Berkman on deck, and then Lee to follow here in the Astros' 6th inning. Giants and Dodgers series opens tonight a little bit later in San Francisco. Should be fun for the fans there. Little roller stays fair. Matsui is on with an infield single.
If that's not the weakest hit I've ever seen, it's in the top 5. That was an absolute thing of beauty. So much so that Kaz was able to turn back and watch it and just relish in this. The fact that he got a knock out of that swing. Look at him looking back over going, I can't believe I'm about to get away with this. Like, oh, no, okay, I better run. Looks like it's fair. And there's not a thing they can do about it.
That's gotta hurt a guy like Charlie Morton, trailing 3-1. That's hit number 6 he's allowed. Now Lance Berkman, a homer and a double. And it's ball 1.
That's one where you want to put your hands on your hips and look at the guys. Really? Really? That's a hit? You're going to do that to me? I got to face the middle of the order. Come on.
Takes that one, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. In that Dodger-Giants series, the Dodgers are leading the season series 7-5 against the Giants. And the Giants really up against it right now. So Lincecum had to miss a start. They lost that game. So they are trailing Los Angeles by 6.5 and Colorado by 4.5 in the wild card.
Meanwhile, the Rockies are down the coast in San Diego to play the Padres. The Rockies have won 7 in a row, 9 of their last 10.
Dodgers at one point led the Rockies by 15.5 games on June 3rd. Dodgers had the best record in baseball at the All-Star break. They're 27-26 since the break.
The thinking was, well, aren't the Dodgers good? And they're really playing well. When they get Manny back, they're really going to go off. And it hasn't happened.
A lot of people probably would say St. Louis is the strongest team in the league right now. Joel Hanrahan in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pirates have lost 12 of their last 13 games. They've been outscored 87-49 during that time. They're going. And it's ball 4 to Berkman. Head off for Carlos Lee. Second walk for Berkman.
Jim Kerrigan out for another visit. Rally the troops. And look, 1 pitch cleaning this inning up. You get a double play here. And things are looking rosy. Here's Joel Hanrahan heating it up in the pen.
He's done really well with the Pirates. Ryan Domit, though, has taken his lumps tonight.
Right out the kneecap. Base by Matsui on him. Takes the curveball off the chest protector. Good sign when the catcher's doing that much running back there.
Carlos Lee is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Broken bat pop up. LaRoche underneath, infield fly. And out. Well, that's going to be a sigh of relief for Charlie Morton to get Lee on 1 pitch in that situation.
Now if he gets a double play ball, he's out of the inning unscathed. Again, the good movement. Fastball running in on the knuckles of Carlos, inducing that weak pop-up.
Morton pitched well against the Phillies August 27th. Didn't get a decision, but he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. Miguel Tejada has walked and singled to right. Morton on the road has an ERA of 7.99 with a 1-4 record this year. Tejada looks at strike 1.
Hey, congratulations to Derek Jeter. He was past Lou Gehrig all time in hits for the New York Yankees franchise.
He has really had quite a career and has just conducted himself so well from beginning up to this point in that career.
Goat head. A goat head out of that mitt.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jeter's 35. And some have said he's been slipping defensively, but he put in a lot of work on agility over the winter last winter. And by a lot of reports, has played better at shortstop this year defensively than he had been. Ultimately, he might be moving to another position, but he is still hitting very well. And for Miggy, it'll be interesting to see what the future holds. 2 balls and a strike. Headed for free agency at the end of this season. There has been talk that he might become a third baseman in the future. The Astros have not approached him to talk about that, but any club would probably consider that with Miggy if he goes out in the open market. It's foul for 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it depends on who's playing shortstop for that particular club.
Yeah, well, he's expressed a willingness to play third base, and I think that certainly will enhance his chances this offseason. I mean, if you show some flexibility and let clubs know you're willing to play third base if shortstop is already covered, or if they felt like it wouldn't work out.
Morton has a double play ball. He throws to Cedeno and then on to first base to Jones. Another double play for Tejada. Hit into 3 last night. No runs, a hit, and the man left. 3-1 Astros. Both Major League Baseball and in the NBA. And in honor of Michael Jordan, who went into the Basketball Hall of Fame today, once tried to play Major League Baseball. We can look back at Dave DeBusschere, Danny Ainge, Gene Conley, and Chuck Connors.
A.K.A. the Rifleman. There are others. This is just a short list.
Meanwhile, Sammy Gervasio is on a short list of pitchers who have come up from the minor leagues and really stopped a lot of bleeding this season for the Astros, as Gervasio has seized the opportunity out of the Astros bullpen.
You know, another guy who could have done that is Bob Gibson. He was a heck of a basketball player. Played for the Globetrotters a little bit.
Yes, he did.
He played collegiately at Creighton.
Gervasio, ERA of 0.79.
His coach was Bill Fitch.
Strike one for Sammy to Andy LaRoche, who homered in the 5th inning. LaRoche is 1 for 2. Bud Norris in 6 innings allowed 6 hits, 1 run. He walked 1 and fanned 7.
Yep. After that rough stretch, 2 very good ones in a row now. Just the 1 walk tonight. A chance for Bud to kick back now. Watch the bullpen go to work. Try to finish this one off.
Grounded to the left side, backhanded. Tejada, long throw to Berkman on the stretch. They get him.
Ronnie Cedeno's made a couple nice plays out there, and Miggy makes a fine play from the hole here. He still has that very good arm. Plays that some others do not because of that arm. Load up and fire that strike across the diamond.
One out for Gervasio. Cedeno's the batter. Cedeno 1 for 2. A single to center field. Ball 1 upstairs. Gervasio really making an impact here. He has allowed 1 run in a total of 14 appearances, striking out 12 and 11 in a 3rd innings. Pitching now for the 9th time in the last 17 Astros games.
You can't say that he's won a spot on next year's club because of this performance, but obviously he's set himself up quite well.
He's at least won the right to be penciled in. That's a fine pitch. 22. Phillies lead the Mets 4-1 at the end of 8 in Philadelphia.
And this delivery is a little less stressful than a traditional over-the-top delivery, so he could be the kind of guy that can give you a lot of appearances.
Strike, and Cedeno's caught looking before 31,302 paid attendance.
There is the unique delivery of Sammy Gervasio. Kind of turns his back to the hitter, hides the ball well, and slings it up there sidearm.
Pirates are getting Neil Walker ready to pinch hit now. Switch hitting 3rd baseman on a 3-game hitting streak. Neil Walker is from Pittsburgh. Started at 3rd base Sunday and got a hit. That was his first in the major leagues. He's been highly touted for a while, and now the 24-year-old, who just turned 24 yesterday, comes up 3 for 14. He was the 11th player drafted in the 04 draft. His father Tom also was a 1st-round choice. He was a pitcher with Montreal.
Whoa, good movement on that thing.
Lots of movement. There's ball 1 to Neil Walker.
JR coming up as if the pitch were going to be high and then to reach back down for it.
Roll up the line at first, foul.
That's kind of what I've been hoping to see is Gervasio against left-handed hitting, because he's mostly been out there against righties, and nice to see him compete against the southpaws and see how he goes about it. What's going on?
Special moment in the stands. We're high-fiving for that little fella. Walker was taught by his dad to switch hit at a very early age. 2 balls.
As old as that young man right there, probably.
Yeah, about 4. Something like that. His father, Tom, pitched not only for Montreal, but Detroit, St. Louis, and California. Neil was also quite a football player. 3-1. He was a wide receiver at Pine Richland High School. Had 68 catches as a senior. And his older brother Matt played pro ball as well. Last year he drove in 80 runs for Indianapolis. Roll past the mound to second. And that's a 1-2-3 7th inning. Sammy Hervasio. It's 3-1 Astros, and the fans will sing God Bless America.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you please rise and remember.
A 17-year-old Daniel Rusty Staub to a contract, winning a bidding war for the New Orleans schoolboy, and they pay him $110,000. It's a bonus baby right there.
Yes, it is. Joel Hanrahan's in the game. It's on strike one to Hunter Pence.
Before the amateur draft was in place.
Hanrahan came from the Washington Nationals. In that pitch, and he has been a totally different pitcher. He is 1-4 with a 5.19 ERA, but what a world of difference with Washington. And before the All-Star break, he had a 7.75 ERA. Since the All-Star break, 1.17 to get to those numbers for the year.
Change of scenery. 101 miles an hour right there from Mr. Hanrahan. Ironically enough, his one win came here in Houston, but he wasn't here. He had been traded. He was hanging out in his hotel in Philadelphia, I believe, the completion of that suspended game against the Nationals.
Fly ball right field corner. Brandon Moss coming over. That's looping in for a hit and kicking up for a double into the seats. Double number 22 for Hunter Pence.
And the Astros have been sitting at 3 since the third inning. Now look to push for more as we get into the late stages of this game. Trying to go up with the fastball, and it was in a little bit, but not up enough, and Hunter able to fight it off.
Lightening up in the seats. The Astros now have 7 hits. Chris Johnson batting. Tolles on deck. Strike one to Johnson. It's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a grounded to third. Hanrahan, 27 years old, from Des Moines, Iowa. Has pitched 3 times this year against the Astros. Popped up, and that'll be out of play, and it snowballs to 2 strikes. Hanrahan was in the closer's role for a while this season for Washington after having 9 saves and 13 tries for the Nationals last year. He pitched 69 times last year. Was 3rd among relievers in the National League in innings pitched with 84. This season things were not working out as well, and the Nats decided to try different closers. He did not flourish in that role, but now he's been a different guy with the Pirates.
Maybe they figured they were going to sign Steven Strasburg, and there's only room for so many 100-mile-an-hour fastballs on your club.
Maybe that was it. In the dirt, there's a block by Doman. Keep Pence at second base. It's 2-2. But the thought is, at least one article about Hanrahan put out the notion that he needs regular work, and that's what he's been getting with the Pirates, not necessarily in save situations, but just pitching more often.
It does present a problem when you have a closer and designate a guy as you're my closer, and then you're on a bad team and you don't have a lot of save situations. You go through a losing streak and you don't get to use that guy. I mean, I'm in favor of throwing that mentality out in general. This guy only works in save situations, or he gets all the save situations because that's quote unquote his role. I think it makes more sense to have multiple options, but certainly on a losing team when you're not getting much work, you're just setting a guy up for failure.
So 2-2 as Johnson battles here. Hanrahan was drafted by the Dodgers in 2000 in the 2nd round.
The line drive may have inflicted a little damage down there.
Washington leads at Florida 5-3, bottom of the 9th. Adam Dunn hit his 37th. Johnson strikes out. 1 out. Charlie Morton in 6 innings allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, walking 2, fanning 3. J.R. Tolles hit a fly ball to right and grounded to shortstop.
Cedeno was shadowing Hunter Pence during Johnson's at bat. Now that will fall to Delwin Young. Tolles more of a pull hitter. One out, a good time if you're thinking about stealing third base to do it. But Hunter's got a fairly conservative lead out there.
Jason Michaels is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next. Tolles takes it, and it's ball one. Catching situation with a lot of clubs is in flux from the beginning to the end of the season. And for the Astros, it was a situation of signing Pudge Rodriguez in spring training. That meant J.R. Tolles went to AAA. JR's back with a shot in September. 1 ball, 1 strike, along with Chris Coste and Humberto Quintero. LaTroy Hawkins is warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, you know, Jason Castro, last year's #1 draft pick for the Astros, considered the catcher of the future, and a lot of folks think he'll be here at some point next year. But until that time, somebody's going to have to be the lead dog for this catching core. And when Castro does arrive and assume that position, somebody's going to have to be the backup. And it's pretty wide open.
Doesn't seem to be. JR takes it, ball 2. By the way, Castro is playing overseas now with that U.S. team in the World Games. Quintero plays here.
He's done a nice job this year.
Castro has started the first 2 games for Team USA in the World Cup in Germany. Pirates have a couple of top prospects over there as well. 3-2, including Pedro Alvarez, who was a first-round pick a year ago. Castro threw out a base stealer yesterday. The U.S. lost in 11 to Venezuela, 13-9.
Now, how old is this Baseball World Cup? Is this a new creation?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that. I really had it last year. Check swing, and Tolles is on with a walk. Fought pretty hard to get that walk.
Yeah, I think he got a break there. Jim Joyce. Ryan Doman is a little bit perplexed. Good body language, though. Good sell. It's nonchalant. Flip the bat away. Don't make eye contact with the first base umpire.
Jason Michaels got a pinch single and an RBI on that one in last night's game. And he has strung together really good 3 weeks or a month of pinch hit at bats. Comes up here batting for Sammy Hervasio, who had a 1-2-3 7th inning with a strikeout. Michaels has been the go-to guy off the bench recently. 238 for the season, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in for the former Pirate. In his last 12 plate appearances as a pinch hitter, he has 5 hits and 4 walks. Michael Bourne on deck. Another block by Doman. Ball 1 for Hanrahan.
Great action on that slider, but has a hard time commanding it.
Michaels has 5 pinch doubles. That's tied for second in the majors. Other block.
It's like Toman's starting to get annoyed.
2 balls, no strikes.
Come on, man, you're killing me.
Bart Ennis is waiting. Bart.
Hey, Brownie, want to remind fans that every Saturday throughout the football season, a Hooters location will host the Fox Sports Houston official watching party. Join us on location and wear your favorite team's gear, and you might even be the Hooters fan of the day. Check us out this week at the Houston Kirby Hooters at 2519 Southwest Freeway. Come and hang out with us and watch some football tomorrow at Hooters, 2519 Southwest Freeway. We will see you there.
All right, sounds like fun. The number 298 is being displayed. The little Pumas.
Why?
Don't know. 298. What is the significance of that?
I think they've just gotten a little wobbly with their numbers out there. They've been keeping count of Lance's, and he's about 309 now.
Yeah.
He's just getting a little careless.
Okay. Now 3 balls, no strikes to Jason Michaels. 245 pinch hit batting average for the season for J. Mike with 12 hits. Now he'll be taking probably on 3-0. And it's ball 4. Bases loaded. 1 out for Michael Bourne. Jesse Chavez warming up for the Pirates. John Russell will go out to that bullpen and make a move. Tough spot for a reliever, but it'll be bases loaded, 1 out when he does come in with a score 3-1 Houston.
Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons und dass sowas von sowas kommt.
Your world delivered. Astros 3, Pirates 1, bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Michael Bourne versus reliever Jesse Chavez, the 26-year-old right-hander. He comes into a pickle with a 1-4 record, a 4.21 ERA. Infielders in, but they can turn a double play in the middle infield.
Chavez, he's got a good arm. Reached the mid-90s with his fastball. Leads their club in appearances with 63. He's picked up his first career win on Sunday against the Redbirds.
It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Chavez was drafted by Texas in the 42nd round in 02. Traded to the Pirates from Kip Wells in 06. He's from Victorville, California. The last player to make the team in spring training, but now he leads the club in appearances. There's the block by Doman. Hunter starts, and he's trapped now on a throw to LaRoche. And the ball gets away from Doman, and Pence scores. The Pirates totally botched the rundown, and that makes it 4-1 with all the runners moving up.
The second time Hunter's been hung out in a rundown tonight. They got him last time, but it wasn't the prettiest rundown. This time they just blow it. And they're throwing the ball around like it's on fire. I mean, just unloading. I mean, Doman's got time, and he gets rid of it too soon. LaRoche probably does as well. I think he had a sight set at Chavez at home plate. Just a whole lot of panic going on there on everybody's part.
Now the infielders are all the way in. And a high throw from LaRoche. And it goes to center field. Tolles tagging. Here's the catch by McCutchen. He'll throw to third. Sacrifice fly. Michael Bourne, RBI number 35, and it's 5-1 Astros. Bourne cashing in. Tolles comes around to score the second run in the inning.
Take advantage of opportunities. The Pirates have certainly opened the door here in this inning. A couple of walks by Hanrahan. Ball in the dirt. Bad rundown.
Matsui's 2 for 3. Still no ruling by the official scorer on that error. There had to be one. A rundown. To right field, up the line. Garrett Jones cannot get there to make the play, and that'll run number 6. Jason Michaels in. And it is 6-1 as Matsui gets his third straight hit right up the right field line. It's an RBI double. Second RBI of the night, number 38 of the year.
Caswell must be living clean. And he had maybe the weakest hit ever last time up, that little check swing roller. Now he gets one of the softer doubles you're going to see. Usually when you pull the ball for an extra base hit, you've hit it hard. Usually when you hit a flare, it seems you flip it the other way. He pulled this one, didn't hit it all that hard, but hit it in a good spot.
Intentional walk to Berkman now. This will be the 4th time he's reached base tonight in 4 plate appearances. Matsui got his 18th double. 3-hit game for Caswell. Berkman has 2 hits, a homer and an RBI double and a walk. And Carlos Lee will bat with runners at first and second and 2 outs.
One of my favorite things in baseball.
Intentional walks?
The intentional walk booing by the home fans.
Okay.
I get a kick out of it. It kind of has a pro wrestling element to it. Boo! You're walking our hero. Now, if he just pitched around him and walked him, or just missed and walked him, it wouldn't be an issue. But intentionally walking in. Not going to stand for that.
Well, Lance has seen a few of those in his career. That's the 12th time this year he's been walked intentionally. And now lead 0 for 3. Tejada on deck. 6-1 Astros in the 7th. Still awaiting the scoring decision on a blown rundown by the Pirates. They don't have an error up on the scoreboard yet. It's going to have to be an error on that play. Pirates lead the league in fielding percentage, for what you make of that.
I think you have to give the error to Ryan Gomez.
Yeah, it was a high throw, but it was catchable.
And I'm not even sure he was the intended target of the throw.
Right.
Devotion might have been trying to throw the ball home.
Yeah.
To Chavez.
It's 2 errors on the play, an error on the third baseman, and another one on the catcher. And they also both get an assist on the play, even though they both get an error on the play.
Oh man, he's having a tough night.
Yes, he is.
A switch hitting catcher with power is a very valuable commodity. Ron Gilman might be thinking, switch hitting outfielder with power is not too shabby either. Switch hitting first baseman, anything but back there. He's just getting abused.
He has been beaten up tonight. Balls in the dirt. Foul balls off his body, off his knee, off his chest protector. An error on a throw. High drive, left center field. This one's a flyer. McCutchen way back. That one bangs off the wall, and that goes into a trot for Carlos Lee as he hit it above the yellow line. 3-run homer for El Caballo, number 24. That opens it up for the Astros, 9-1. That's 90 2 runs batted in for El Caballo. Pump it up.
Now the joint is jumping. A 7th inning explosion. Pirates have provided a lot of opportunity with shoddy play and then some big swings of the bat. Check the oil while you're there filling up.
Right out at the pump. Long blast. AT HOU rolls to second. Young with a throw to first. And the Astros really cash in with a 6-run 7th inning. On 3 hits, 2 costly errors, 3 walks along the way. And El Caballo provides the big one. 3-run blast. 9-1 Astros. To pitch the 8th inning after really breaking it open with a 6-run 7th. Jason Michaels staying in to play left field for the Astros. And by the way, to clarify, there was only 1 error on that rundown, and it was given to the catcher, Ryan Doman. So LaTroy Hawkins comes in now with a 1-4 record and 11 saves in 15 opportunities.
Astros having a real nice homestand, but most of the games have been very close. Enjoying a nice blowout now. A game that was close most of the way. They had the 7-0 win over the Phillies to start the homestand, and 3 consecutive 1-run wins. So that fast 3 times. And then their win against Atlanta was a 2-1 victory in the middle game of that 3-game set.
One ball, 1 strike after Sammy Gervasio had a 1-2-3 7th with a strikeout.
Troy has not been out there for a while. He last worked September 6th in the Philly series.
It's 2-1. All of the 6 runs for the Astros in the 7th inning were unearned.
Doesn't it?
I'll have to check it. That's what the announcement was. Hunter Pence back in right field. He makes a good catch on the warning track. That's 1 down.
I don't wish ill will on any of our pitchers, but I'd love to see McCutchen hit one in the gap this weekend just to watch him run.
What's on tap with the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light. Ross Ollendorf and Brian Moeller tee it up tomorrow at 5:30. It's Paul Maholm and Felipe Paulino Sunday 12:30. More Astros live on that one. Well, maybe a game like this.
Yeah, exactly. He's already back. Oh, well. We'll have another one like this.
Maybe so.
Pirates have had a lot of them like this, especially on the road.
That's ball 1 to Young. Young is 0 for 2 with a walk. Astros have out hit the Buccos 9-6. Fastball good for strike.
Pirates obviously define success a little bit differently than most clubs. They're just trying to put some pieces together and start to move in the right direction. So obviously they want to win, but it's not what it's all about right now. And to that end, I guess despite having an awfully tough year, John Russell must be pretty safe as the manager of the Pirates. There were no expectations on this club coming into the season. Hard to fault the manager when you keep tearing the team down and rebuilding it.
One ball, 2 strikes. Troy Hawkins. On Sunday, he gave up 1 run in 1 inning. The Astros won the game 4-3 despite a Jason Worth homer off of Troy. His pace has slowed down a little bit for appearances. Veal and Bizzardo are warming up. Veal for the Pirates, Bizzardo for the Astros.
Dinner order. Oh, the Veal Bizzardo.
Bizzardo, please. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game 1 of a 3-game series, and wind up the season series between these two. And the Astros go to Cincinnati for 3 and Milwaukee for 3 on the next road trip. Come back and play St. Louis and Cincinnati. Chop to first, but foul for Berkman.
So that'll be your last chance to come out and boo Albert Pujols before the Cardinals go to the postseason.
Yeah. There's Bizzardo. Warming up not too far from the 5-7 grill. So maybe he and Veal could meet at the 5-7 grill for that Veal Bizzardo. And a special dish for those 2 guys.
You know, if Big Charlie Kerfeld was on this team, he'd be working some stuff up there at the 5-7 grill. Delivering burgers or whatever to Chuck down there in the pen.
Well, the Sunshine Kids will be out there Monday. Astros are on the road that day for their annual party. They'll get to go on the field before that and have lunch. Patty Biggio. Special day for them. In the dirt.
It's your hand, JR.
Young takes the walk.
JR got a throwing hand in the midst there, and he'll end up with a broken finger.
He's had a broken nose this year. Garrett Jones doubled to right in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Pirates have dispersed players all over the major leagues. This looks like one of those guys who's really going to cash in on the chance. Once the other deals were made. There's ball 1. Pirates really pleased with the take from the Yankees. They got some young pitching. And the Nady and Marte deal last year. And another deal with the Yankees this year. So teams come to Pittsburgh looking for veterans. Willing to give up young players. Liner to left field. A hit in front of Jason Michaels. Runners at first and second now, and 1 out for Lastings Millage.
Now, did you said that Millage's mom named him Lastings because he was her last child? Did she have clever names for other kids too?
Don't know about that. We'll have to ask him.
First and middle or anything like that? Just last.
We'll have to find out. That would be a good research project.
I think that would create some self-esteem issues, wouldn't it, if you had a brother first and you were last? Man,
Yeah.
No wonder he's so good. He had to rise above that.
Be a bit of an issue around the dinner table. Fastball, strike one for Hawkins. Astros batted around in the 7th inning, scoring 6 times to give the bullpen a lot of working room here. Toronto beat Detroit 6-4 at Detroit. Brian Talbot the winner over Nate Robertson. Strike, that makes it 0-2. Atlanta won, St. Louis nothing. They played 8 in St. Louis. Braves back to struggling to score runs the way they have been for much of the last week until last night when they beat the Astros 9-7. Chop to second. Matsui with a flip. Tejada the middleman. 4-6-3 double play. Number 2 of the night for the Astros and number 144 for the season. They lead at 9-1 in the 8th.
Team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and lots more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Astros.com shop. Bill?
Thank you, Bart. We have a left-hander working, and he is Donnie Veal on the mound, warming up for the bottom of the 8th inning with the Astros leading it here 9-1. They've out-hit the Buccos 9-7. Donnie Veal worked Tuesday night in Chicago. He has no wins or losses. His ERA is 4.91.
Big man, 6'4", about 230. Donnie Veal, hard-throwing left-hander. Originally drafted by the Cubs, number 2 in 2005. Rule 5 guy, right?
Yes. Taking in that opportunity the teams have in the winter draft, left unprotected by the Cubs. Pirates scooped him up. And he had to stay on the big league roster. Hunter Pence looks at ball 1. He doubled in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3. And in the previous 13 games before tonight, he had hit .409. It's been a really good time for Hunter. Getting the ball all over the park in this stretch. Veal pumps it in for a strike. Now the number 23.
Just lose control out there altogether.
We have no idea what that's all about.
Well, We're looking for reasoned judgment from a bunch of people who dress up like tigers and come to a ballpark.
That's a good point.
There's no rationale.
Mathematics for Pumas. Breaking pitch in the dirt gets Hunter to swing and a miss for a strikeout, and that's out number 1.
And a lot of time, Rule 5 guys are players with ability that are raw, and the team that had them just has a big enough talent pool where they can't afford to keep them on a 40-man roster, so they become exposed. And it seemed like the Pirates, who aren't going anywhere, can afford to pick them up and try to let them develop at the big league level. Tougher to take Rule 5 players when you're in contention. You just never know what you're going to get out of them. Sometimes it can actually retard the development of a player because they come to the big leagues and essentially hang out all year, won't get many opportunities to play, and then the next year he'll find himself back in the minor leagues.
Now we're at 0-1. One ball and 1 strike. That was the count. No, count. They had 23 when Hunter was batting with 23 homers. So again, they're trying to follow along, but it's just not working out. Chris Johnson doesn't have any. It's a shortstop.
He's got a hit.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's a hit for him. And it's 2 outs.
On to something here. Who's coming up here?
Let's see if it's
Tommy
tied in.
Manzella.
Oh, good. First major league plate appearance for Tommy. Came in as a pinch runner to make his major league debut, and now it's the bat with it. Manzella pinch ran for Chris Coast on Tuesday. He was recalled from Round Rock after the Monday game. He was the team MVP for the Round Rock Express, hitting .289 with 9 homers, 56 runs batted in. And has been ranked as the top fielding player in the Astros system for the last few years. Ball 1 to him.
Tall, rangy shortstop.
Fouls that one back. His father, Tommy Sr., is here. His sisters have come in to watch him. Special time for Tommy after those numbers at AAA.
Well, getting an at bat here, maybe in advance of a start tomorrow. That would be kind of fun to see him play.
It would be. He's 26, from Louisiana, born in Chalmette. Went to Tulane. He was a double major in marketing and legal studies. Smart guy. Said he was really looking forward to putting on these pinstripes. There's his father, Tommy, and his 2 sisters. His mother, unfortunately, passed away of cancer last year. Tap past the mound. It might be his first major league hit, and it is! First hit for Tommy Manzella. A special moment for that family. So now he and Chris Johnson have both broken the ice quickly in their major league careers.
Ball heads into the dugout. First major league at bat. He's now a 1,000 hitter in the big leagues.
Enjoy the moment, Tommy.
And so he's what, just 2,700 and some behind Derek Jeter.
Yeah. He's making a run on Jeter. And Delwyn Young could not prevent that first major league hit. And they love it.
That's good stuff.
It is.
We had that shot of Chris Johnson's girlfriend last night, immediately going to the phone, sending the text messages.
Jason Michaels is the batter. Now, special time for her. This is girlfriend. J. Mike takes that pitch. And he's ahead 2-0 in the count with Veal on the mound. Michael Bourne is on deck. Well, you hate to see a kid come up and go through 15, 20 at bats waiting for his first hit. You know, that has to really work on a young guy.
Yeah, and I guess the good news is if it happens to you in September, you know they can't send you down. But if it's mid-season, you get called up, and you know that's every night you leave the ballpark, you're wondering, am I going to be here tomorrow?
Stay tuned after the game for Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Kevin Eschenfelder and Dave Harbison will have all the highlights and analysis.
amidst the fireworks.
Yeah, they have to get in their words quickly before it gets loud here. 3 balls and a strike for Donnie Veal. Manzella family's really been through rough sledding. Their home was flooded by Hurricane Katrina shortly after he was drafted in 2005 from Tulane. A line shot to left center field. Michaels comes through with a hit. Another good game for J. Mike. He's been on base both times. And Michael Bourne will bat with 2 men on and 2 outs. Michael with a hit and a sac fly has scored a run tonight. Speaking of University of Houston Cougar game day, did you happen to see the TV crew during batting practice shooting lengthy interviews with Chris Coast and Darren Erstad tonight?
I did not. What was that all about?
They are from Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, there's a station here from Fargo?
Yeah. There's ball 1. So naturally they wanted to document the fact that 2 North Dakota natives are here. Chris had a lengthy conversation with that TV crew, and then Darren did. And they're asking Chris what that is all about. He said, well, they're here to cover the Fargo State game, Sam Houston State, in college football.
Oh. Didn't know Fargo State had a club.
I didn't either. 2 balls, no strikes. And the Astros now claim North Dakota as one of their states. They're scouting heavily, probably, in that area.
I'm guessing we lead the league in North Dakotans.
There's no doubt about it.
There's been 15 all time to play in the major leagues.
That's it.
Roger Maris would be the guy you think of first and foremost.
Yeah.
So according to this website I'm looking at, Roger Maris was not born in North Dakota.
Where was he?
I don't know, but I'm looking at players born in North Dakota who've played in the big leagues. And I don't see Roger Maris's name. He's a poser.
Well, we're going to do some further checking into that. As Michael Bourne looks over a 2-0 pitch here. Now 3 balls, no strikes.
Rick Helling, him.
Yeah.
Good pitcher for a good while.
Edwin Masonette is on deck. Matsui is due up next. Good time to get the young guys in. 3 balls and a strike.
Travis Hafner was born in the same town as Darren Erstad, Jamestown.
Okay. Swing and a miss by Bourne. Takes the count to 3-2.
Known more for their ice fishing, I think, than for baseball.
We have Roger Maris born in Hibbing, Minnesota. BaseballReference.com, Cody. 3-2 with 2 outs. The runners will set sail. And it's fouled away. Talked with Walt Matthews, who's been a long-time scout in the Astros organization, going back to the time when Tommy Manzella signed with the Astros. He was a 3rd-round draft choice in 2005. Coming out of that good baseball program in Tulane. He said he had tremendous hands. Some of the best Walt had ever seen. And Walt thinks he's going to be very good major league shortstop defensively. Runners go, and it's lined to shortstop, and Cedeno has it. So it's no runs, 2 hits, 2 left for the Astros in the 8th. Smile for Tommy Manzella. Dave Clark congratulates him on hit number 1, 9-1 Houston. Humberto Quintero moves in behind the plate. J.R. Tolles 0 for 2 with a walk. Scored a run tonight as the starter. Edwin Masonette is the new second baseman. Kazuo Matsui was 3 for 4. Scored 2, drove in 2 tonight. And on the mound, it's Yorman Bizzardo with an 0-1 record and a 9.75 ERA.
Yorman has walked just 12 innings so far at the big league level, struck out 6, walked 11, so that tells the story right now so far for him. He's really struggled with his command. Has not pitched in a game in quite a while. August 15th at Milwaukee, last time he towed the slab.
Ryan Doman rips one foul for strike 1, and because of that, he pitched a simulated game on Tuesday, and he hit Chris Johnson with a pitch in the helmet. So that was Chris Johnson's first few minutes on a major league field during the regular season game. But to be expected, a pitcher usually is going to have some wildness when he hasn't pitched in a long time. So Chris Johnson shrugged it off.
Chris owes him money. Good time in AAA together.
Maybe so.
No signs of rust there. And I misspoke as to when he last pitched. That's the last time he pitched out of the pen. He did make a start in Arizona on August 28th. But you get the idea. The work has been infrequent for Bizzardo.
Yeah.
Hopefully that simulated game, the work he got, will pay off. It's not the same as live game action, but it certainly helps. It's better than just throwing a bullpen.
Now with one out, it's Brandon Moss batting. Broken bat goes flying, and the ball goes out. Fouled on the right field line. There's the barrel of the bat right there at first base.
Yeah. The ball went one way, the bat went one way, and Puma just turned around and headed for cover. So one out of here.
Puma is our Texaco star performer of the game. He's really putting it together. He can play for the last few games, JD.
Two home run, a couple of doubles, 2 RBI tonight. Scored twice, drew a walk, was intentionally walked another time. That long home run drought, back-to-back games now. Lance and Gandhi setting himself up for a nice, strong finish here in 2009.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You saw Quintero there. If you notice, after he caught that ball from Bizzardo, kind of took his arms in motion front and back, basically saying, hey, let's not be cute and shoot for corners here. Just come to me. I'm going to sit right down the middle. Come right to me and just trust your good movement.
Come to Papa.
Come to Papa. Don't try to be too fine.
3 balls, 1 strike. Bizzardo, another of those who's had a good year at AAA. And trying to make a strong impression for next year. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. This is that kind of time for these players who have not been under the big league scrutiny very much. Yorman had only 3 games with Detroit last year. Just a few games other than that in previous years. He gets a strikeout of Moss, and he has 2 of those in a row.
He does not have the velocity that Felipe Paulino has with Bud Norris. But he's got a real good off-speed pitch, and it looks to me like he hides the ball pretty well, too. It looks like he may be a little deception in his delivery.
He's from Venezuela. And drops a breaking pitch in on LaRoche, who homered in the 5th inning for the Pirates' lone run. Braves 1, Cardinals 0. A final from St. Louis. Strike 2. Tough luck. Jair Jurgens wins his 11th against 10 losses. Joel Pinheiro absorbs loss number 10 against 14 wins. Soriano gets his 23rd save. And it's strike 3, and LaRoche cannot believe it. This ball game is over. Bizzardo strikes out the side in the 9th to put a lid on an Astros 9-1 win. They are 6-2 on this homestand. A smoking night for Lance Berkman and his teammates. Stay tuned for Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, coming up next.